Welcome back, adventurers. Welcome back. Um, I just did a 5 minutes of your time video. That was more of an update to tell everybody kind of what we have going on and what the situation is here. This video, however, has more of a purpose. And what I'm doing now is explain to everyone what my achievements so far with this channel and my direction. Where am I going? All right, so I brought up the channel and I started it a few years ago, probably about a year and a half ago. Attempted to start it. I formed the channel, but the editing was my downfall. That was what kept me from creating the videos, getting my angles right, and actually working through the problems. Then I met David from Forgotten Angels when he came up to drop off Mala's boots, and he gave me a pair of boots. What were they? Indy Ridge, and I wear them all the time when I'm riding. I love them. They're super comfortable. But when I met David and we sat and talked and we went for a ride, I got the inspiration and the drive from the conversations me and him were having to finally do something with my channel. I think at that point I felt it had a purpose, a direction. And all of my videos, for the most part, some of them have escaped through editing, not getting anything put in it for it. But Forgotten Angels, I try to mention that in all my videos, or if I don't, put a little emblem of Forgotten Angels right here, up here, or maybe blocking the sun so you viewers can have a better viewing experience. So, neighbor's home. Forgotten Angels is my direction. That is what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to build my channel for. So far in 2023, I am now at 77 subscribers as of this morning, and hopefully we'll get 200 before the end of December. If not, it's okay. I'm not trying to race for the numbers, and I'm also not trying to put out the content to get the numbers. I don't want just numbers. I want people who are going to watch the videos and truly understand the purpose of me creating this content for them to enjoy. It's to help spread the word of Forgotten Angels and what they do. So for those who have not seen any of my videos, and this is the first one you're seeing, or the first time you're hearing about Forgotten Angels, let me explain what Forgotten Angels is. Forgotten Angels is an organization based out of Tampa, or Valrico, Florida, technically. And also Portland, Oregon, if I remember. And what they do is they take the at-risk youth, or youth who is growing up through the abuse of the foster care system down in Florida. And what happens? Okay, picture this. You're born, your parents don't want you, or whatever the issue is, right? You end up going into foster care. All right, well, you're already starting off, you're in foster care. Now you're getting put into a home where it's one room for 4 people, and minimum supplements are supplied. You're not fed family meals. You're given a past meal, something that will just get you past that point on to the next one. And okay, that's what food's really for, but the bond that families create when they're eating together, socializing, so on and so forth, that's what a lot of these men and women too are dealing with in a foster care system. They're not truly being loved. And on top of not being loved, they're not being taught. They basically have to, other neighbor's home, they have to go through their lives with the bare minimum of what the foster parent is supplying. They're not being educated properly. They're allowed to just be miscreants, because as long as that foster parent is getting the stipend for them being there, that's all they care about. That's all they want. And imagine not being taught how to tie your shoes, how to wash clothes, how to do stuff we take for granted. I mean, I can't even begin to explain some of the stuff that some of these young men and women have to go through, and the stuff they miss out on because of the no way around it, the shitty upbringing they're getting through the foster system. So what Forgotten Angels does is it tries to bring these young men and women in and provide them with a education, give them the means to learn how to do more than just breathe air and eat food. David has taught many of the Forgotten Angels how to drive. They've taught them how to set up their bank accounts, how to pay their bills, how to get a mortgage, how to rent apartments, how to be human beings in functioning parts of our society, not just people sitting around slumming it through life, not having any goal, not having any purpose. They're giving them a purpose. They're giving them a foundation to put their feet on and stand up straight, stand up tall, lift their head up. They don't deserve to live their life walking around feeling like they're human garbage or they don't really know what they're doing. They deserve to have a direction, and that's what they get through Forgotten Angels, which comes back to us. I am now taking it on a more personal level, making sure that we're giving to Forgotten Angels. This past summer when we met David, knowing that he was driving up to Georgia and above Georgia to just drop off they're not even raffled. People were just called out of the blue in the chat and so on and so forth during the live stream, and they won boots. Well, David drove up and hand delivered these boots to them. And when they delivered the boots to us, I had my bike ready, Catastrophic's bike ready, Mala's bike was ready, and what we were set up to do was to go on a ride with David if he so chose. He did, and it ended up being me and him going for the ride. But when we got back, when he presented me with the boots, I presented him with the title for the 2006 Kawasaki Z750S that is currently still sitting at their Forgotten Angels compound. I say compound, I think it sounds good. Makes it sound real cool, you know what I'm saying? The compound. That bike, although running and streetable with a title, clean and clear, the gas tank was eroded and needed to be replaced. So it wasn't something I felt I could give to Catastrophic to keep him on in order for him to go to school, go to work, and all the other things an adult would want a motorcycle for, or even a kid for that matter, because he's still 17, he's still a kid. And we presented him with that bike. The feeling that gave us to know that that bike now has a higher purpose than what we were going to do with it. All I was going to do with it was modify it, rat it out, make it like a show bike or something that is put it around with for fun. And now it's going to go to either a young adult who needs a primary ride or needs a motorcycle, or it may go off as a raffle. We'll see. What they do with it is not my concern. We gave it to them with the purpose, and it is meeting that purpose. Now, my goal for 2024, next year, what I want to do, and this is where I need my viewers' help. I want to present David and Cindy with a second motorcycle. Not only a second motorcycle, but a roadworthy, with a title, motorcycle that they can either use as a raffle bike or give to one of the young men so they can have a primary ride. That's what I want to do in 2024. And that's why I need you viewers. I need, if anyone can find me, a very low budget, if not free, motorcycle that has a title. It doesn't have to run. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. I need to first start with whatever the bike is. And I don't care what brand. I don't care what size motor. I just need something to start with as a foundation to give to them. And then I'm going to be using outlets such as PayPal, Patreon, and other, I'm not sure what you want to call them, but ways to get the funding. Oh, neighbors are walking their dog. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Pretty good. Use that funding to repair the bike, make it to where it's riding well. Something I'd feel comfortable putting my own Mala on for a ride. Something that I don't have to worry about. Is it going to make it here? Is it going to make it there? Use that funding I get to build that motorcycle. Now, we don't have the funding of our own personally for us to do nowhere near the work that some of the other contributors can present to Forgotten Angels. I understand that. I don't have the knowledge, the tools, or the funding personally to do it. But I do have the drive. And I do have viewers. And I can get tools. And I can learn. Like I said, I can learn. So, viewers, please be on the lookout for anything that's a motorcycle that I can take and turn into something to give to Forgotten Angels this year. Again, I don't care what it is. I don't care what shape it is. I need a motorcycle with a title or one that I can get a title for. I'm willing to do what I can for that and to kind of be transparent about that situation. Let's say through whatever funding I go through, I get $10,000. Well, $10,000 is nothing to shake a stick at. That's a pretty good amount of money. And it cost me $5,000 to get the motorcycle, get it up and running, and make it to where it's presentable. Not an ugly junk box, something that someone would be proud to own. In addition to, if you don't have anything, of course you should be proud to have something. But let's face it, if it doesn't go to one of the Forgotten Angels, then it needs to go to one of the supporters of Forgotten Angels. And the supporters out there above me, way above me, I feel would deserve something that looks just as good as the efforts they're doing. And when I say that, any efforts, any contribution you make towards the Forgotten Angels to me is worth it. It doesn't matter if it's $5, it doesn't matter if it's $20, if it's $2,000. It doesn't matter, it's all the same in my mind. But back to transparency. If it costs me $5,000 to get that bike up and ready and rolling, when I present David and Cindy with the motorcycle, I also want to present them with whatever is left over. If I have $5,000 left over, I want to give them the motorcycle and a check for $5,000 saying, here you go. This is what I was able to raise. This is what I did with it. This is what's left. It's not for me. None of it is for me. And just present it all to them. That's what I'm going for. That's what I want out of 2024. I want to see another bike in the stable, but just, I want to be that motorcycle's foster parent. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give it the life, or a second chance at life, depending on the condition, and then get it to someone who needs it. So be on the lookout. Send me a message, get in the comments, whatever you got to do, get in touch with me. Or if you can't get in touch with me, get in touch with David. Say, David, hey, look, I was talking to Key Fob down in Georgia, and I have a motorcycle for him. You don't have to tell him exactly what's going on. Just explain to him, hey, you have one, and you need to get in touch with me. David has my number. He has permission to pass it out. So reach out to him, tell him what you need, or what you need out of me. And if it's something where I need to hook up a trailer, come get the bike, we'll do that. If it's something where you can drop it off, get in touch with me. I'll tell you where to drop it off at so we can begin the process. I don't expect this to be to go into full fruition in 2024. I don't think it's going to reach the level I want to see it reach in 24. There's just a lot of moving parts that I have to go through, and there's still a lot of irons in my fire, and some of them they have to come out. So this is going to be a main focus for me. It's going to be a main focus for the channel, and it's going to be a main focus for our household. Yeah. So adventurers, be on the lookout, get in touch with me, and go out and have your own adventure.